It's the Norton Lancers at 3-5, taking on the Westwood Wolverines at 7-1 on Ellison's coverage of Friday Night Hoops. Welcome inside the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium, folks. I'm Javic Blake, and the Norton Lancers coming into tonight off of a 50-20 victory over Ashland, which snapped a 3-game losing streak. We're going to build off of that against a TVL large leading Westwood Wolverine team that heads into tonight with a 7-1 record thanks to a 44-38 victory over Bellingham. But first, let's talk about the Norton Lancers. Talking to Lancer head coach Mark Libator today, he described their last game as a complete execution of their game plan and described tonight as the game where they're going to need to do that yet again against a very good Westwood squad that not only leads the TVL large in offense, but also in defense as well. For the Lancers, their impact players tonight are going to be Sean McNichol starting off with him. He's enjoying a career year that includes 15.5 points per game and is coming off a 19-point performance in the Lancers' last matchup. Alongside him in the front court will be Griffin McElroy, who's the Lancers' biggest offensive threat this season. He is their reigning TVL MVP and has historically lit it up against Westwood, recording a career-high 34-point game a year ago. Moving over to the Westwood Wolverines now. Yes, they lead the TVL large. Yes, they sport the best defense and the best offense in the league, and they're going to be having their best player, James McGowan, a sophomore. He's a great scorer, the leader of their offense. And talking to Coach Lib in our coaches meeting earlier today, he described McGowan as a player that the Lancers need to shut down if they want to win that matchup. But defense really is the name of the game for Westwood. It's how they win games. They've allowed 40 or less points in half of their games that can beat you with relentless pressure on all sides of the floor. Their defense is great. Their offense is great for the Lancers. It's going to take an all-around effort here to beat the Westwood Wolverines. But it's a historically great TVL program. The Lancers have won 3 league titles in the last 10. Westwood, with 2 and a win, can catapult the Lancers' playoff chances. So we'll have the starting lineups and the tip-off coming up next to the Norton Lancers and the Westwood Wolverines on Ellison's coverage of Friday Night Hoops. Stick with us. Welcome inside our broadcast. I'm Javic Blake. As we'll get ready to go, the puck is dropped, and we're underway. Bellingham kicked this one off. That one high in the air. This is LSM. 1-0 the score, and if he can do it, this place, the Lancer fan section ready to erupt. This one thrown on towards net. In front, headed, and we're all tied up. 77 minutes. Stop here, looking to pass. Pass it to the outside, caught, and it's intercepted. Beats it back, this one's tipped away. Baker on the move, puts up the layup, and that one's good. As that one's over to Gallagher. He'll settle this one down, looking for a shot. That one! Put home, Brendan Hayden! Got the 18 headed in front of Mario Harrison. Sends it in, and the Lancers take a 3-point advantage. Hello, folks. Welcome inside the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. I'm Javic Blake as the Lancers at 3-5 come into tonight's matchup against the Westwood Wolverines, seeking their 4th TVL victory from here at the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium in Norton, Massachusetts. But first, let's get to the starters first for the Westwood Wolverines. Starting for them, number 10, Favor Waraboko, the junior, who last game really led them to victory against Bellingham. Now starting out there as well, number 11, Jimmy B, number 12, Jonathan Ang, and number 14, James McGowan, who we highlighted in the pregame show and got a lot of high praise from Lancer head coach Mark Libator as one of the best scorers and best offensive players on their team. Starting for them as well as number 21, Joey Noon. For the Lancers, it's Sean McNichols, Tom Bengal, Mikey Belcher, Zach Steele, and Griffin McElroy. And right off the tip-off, Griffin McElroy fouled as he goes up to the basket. And 3 seconds into this one, the Lancers already going to the line for 2 free throws. Griffin McElroy, 33 of 52 from the line, good for 63% on the year. And he'll make his first shot, and that'll open up the scoring. McElroy makes both, and the Lancers go up 2-0, and a total change from the last time we saw the Lancers here on Friday Night Hoops. They were down 7-0 early on in that one, didn't get their first points till about 2 minutes left in the first quarter. As that rolls out of bounds off of just about nobody, Joseph Noon tried to pass it to the near side to James Bean. Nobody was there. Bean couldn't get to it as the Westwood Wolverines will inbound it. 7:44 left in the first quarter. It's Noon passing it to the inside. Eng has it, puts up the shot, and he's fouled by Mikey Belcher. Belcher will pick up his first foul of the night. Tried to go for the big block against Jonathan Eng. Just got a little bit too much of the body, and Eng will go to the line for 2. And he'll make the first. So a 2-1 ball game. 7:37 left in the first quarter. Westwood 5-0 this year in the TVO Large, really widening that gap between them and the rest of the TVO Large. The second place team, Hopkinton, 2 games back already, sitting with a 3-2 record. Eng, the junior, makes the second shot, and we're tied up at 2. So 23 seconds in, already 4 foul shots attempted. The Lancers trying to get by that fast break defense of Westwood. Griffin Mackler has it at the top. We're going to drive the lane, gets a little bit tied up, has it on the ground. And Sean McNichols now diving on the ground, able to grab it, sends it out to the top. Mikey Belcher grabs it, some fantastic offensive play from the Lancers. Mackler has it, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Bingo has it, throws it over to the far side. It's McNichols inside the lane to Belcher, the jumper from just outside the paint. Goes off of Joseph Noonan out of bounds, and the Lancers will keep possession. A brand new shot clock as well. What a fantastic play there from Sean McNichols, recognizing the ball on the ground, jumping on top of it, and able to feed it back out to the top. As the Lancers played all the way back up top to Griffin Mackler. The senior averaging 16.5 per game, puts up the shot, misses entirely. And Westwood's defensive pressure getting the better of the Lancers shot there. The Lancers will keep possession. Sean McNichols to inbound it for the Lancers. It looked like it might have gone off of the hands of Thomas Bingo, but instead they're going to say it went off the hands of the forward favor, Waraboko. The Lancers to bring it up. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Relentless pressure from Westwood here. Belcher driving the lane inside the paint, puts it in the bucket. The Lancers get their first field goal of the night, their first 2 points in the paint of the night, and get it to a 4-2 lead. Westwood will bring it up. It's Joseph New. Coach Lib talking about him in the pregame, billed him as a great second shooter. Not one of the primary shooters, but a very good second shooter as Noon has it from deep. That one falls. So the shot from deep gives Westwood the lead, and it's now 5-4. It's Thomas Bingle throwing it to Griffin Mackler. Drives the lane, tries to throw it to Belcher, goes off of him, falls inside the paint. A turnover for the Lancers here in the early going. Jonathan Eng passes it back to Jack Terrazin. And here comes Westwood, the Wolverines, throwing over to the outside. Again, another 3 off the iron. Waraboko able to grab the rebound. Westwood again with a 3. That one missing entirely, and it's Griffin Mackler coming up with the rebound for the Norton Lancers. Westwood hanging back on defense, 5:45 left in the first quarter. The score here, 5-4 in favor of the Norton Lancers. Zach Steele, the captain, has it, throws it over to Thomas Bingle. Bingle throws it back to Belcher, and they're going to call him for a foul. Westwood, relentless pressure as we're seeing here in the early going. We talked to Coach Lib about that in our coaches meeting earlier today, and he really said about that pressure, it's relentless. It's not like they're pressuring on one possession. It's what they do for 32 constant minutes, and no other team in the TVL does that. And we're seeing that with Westwood having the best defense in the TVL, only averaging, giving up 43.5 points per game. Norton, however, with the steal. They'll look to take it up at Zach Steele as it's just outside the three-point line. Bingo will have it. Throws to Griffin Mackler on the far side. Mackler shakes off his man. Looking to drive the lane instead, loses the ball, and it's taken away by James McGowan. McGowan will bring it up. We're just about 3 minutes into this one. Pulls up for 3, misses everything, and goes out of bounds on the lane. She'll take possession. So far for Westwood, 1 of 4 from behind the arc. They made the first shot to make it 5-4. Since then, unable to come up with just about any shots. It's Mikey Belcher bringing this up. Has Steele on the near side, isn't able to get it to him. Instead, throws to Sean McNichols for 3. That one off the back iron. And an over-the-back foul will called on Mikey Belcher. Belcher already with his second foul of the night. The 6'4" junior. As Joseph Newman will bring it up for the Westwood Wolverines. Have yet to lose a game away from home, and they're really playing close away from home, which is something you wouldn't expect for a team that usually wins their games by a large margin. As Westwood misses the shot, the Lancers was able to come up with a rebound. It's McNichols. Has it, throws it to Bingle. Mackler has it on the far side, feeds it into Belcher, throws up the shot from just outside the paint, unable to fall for the Lancers, and Westwood takes the other way. It's Joseph Noon. Has it, pull-up shot, able to sink it with ease. And it's now a 7-4 Westwood lead in the press. The full court press coming on for Westwood now. It's Belcher to Mackler on the far side. And a blocking foul will call there. And the Lancers will inbound on the far side. Jonathan Eng called for his first foul of the night, and the Lancers will get an inbound from the far side as a substitution being made. Griffin McAleer, my apologies, Mikey Belcher coming out. Jared Fucci, the captain, coming in. Steele has it halfway through the first quarter. The Lancers down by 3. Bingle, the log 3, missing entirely, and it's going to go off the back of Joseph Noonan out of play. So it'll stay with the Lancers. And Bingle missing yet another shot. Brings his total of the season from three-point range 0 for 18. Steele driving the lane here inside the paint, throws up the bucket, misses in and out of the iron, and going the other way is Westwood. Lancers only with 4 points in the quarter, but it's Bingle able to bat that one to Griffin McAleer, and here comes the TVL MVP, puts it up and in. Off the turnover, and the Lancers bring it back to 7-6. 3:33 left here in the first quarter. It's Joseph Noonan. Some great defense there as Griffin McAleer trying to bat the ball away, but Westwood has it just outside the arc. Throws it over to Noonan. He'll hold, throws up the deep 3 from way out, misses entirely, but Westwood trying to put back up the bucket off the rebound, unable to get it, and the Lancers go the other way. McAleer with a nifty move to try and get inside the paint. Feeds it back out to the top to Sean McNichols. Off a few different players, and it's going to find its way out of bounds, last touched by James McGowan. And Westwood, some substitutions coming on. It's Seamus McCusker and Jack Terrazin. Brand new shot clock for the Lancers. 30 seconds to work with. 3:03 remaining here in the first quarter. Bingle has it up top. Going back to his shooting woes, Coach Libb has really praised him as a great defender, and it's just a string of bad luck for him recently. He's had some shots that are just missing, and that pass off the hands of Jared Fucci and out of play, so Westwood will inbound it. But as for Bingle, he's praised as a great defender and a ball handler. It's just a lot of bad luck. Shots going in and out of the basket. He highlighted especially a shot versus Ashland that went about halfway inside the hoop and then ended up popping out as Westwood, the shot from just outside the free throw line, missing. The rebound taken by Jack Terrazin. Westwood driving the lane, pickpocketed by the lane, so over, and Bingle with yet another steal here in the early going. Doing exactly what his coach praised him about in the early going. Said he was going to be vital to face this Westwood defense. Fucci driving the lane, goes off a few players, and they're going to say last one off the leg of Fucci himself, as Westwood will take a timeout. 2:22 left here in the first quarter. The Lancers down 7-6. We'll see if they can turn around coming out of the timeout right here on LSN. Hello, folks. Welcome back here to the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. I'm Javik Blake here on Friday Night Hoops on LSN. And let's take you around the TVL tonight. Holliston taking on Medway at home tonight in a battle of a 2-4 versus a 5-1 team. Another action, it's Hopkinton at home against Mills, a team that took the Lancers to overtime, but ended up falling 66-60 just a few weeks ago. They're 2-6. Hopkinton 2-3, trying to turn it around. As in the last game in the TVL tonight, it is Dedham at home against Norwood, who's 2-2. In the TVL, looking to make some moves, move up a little bit higher in the standings. They'll also be Westwood's next opponent. So off the timeout, Westwood bringing it up by just 1 point. Thanks to a steal from Griffin McAleer about 90 seconds ago. And a push foul will called on Jared Fucci. It's Seamus McCusker falling to the hard one. As Jared Fucci picks up his first foul of the night. Westwood has it, running out of time to inbound this one, but they're able to inside the lane. Fucci able to come up with just about everyone, but it's Rory Boko grabbing it back, missing again. And a big tie-up down inside the paint. Westwood able to grab it. And a whole lot of commotion right now down low. Puts up the shot. And they're going to call a 3-second violation on Westwood. But here comes that full court press. Relentless. They do not stop. 32 minutes of pressure is going to be coming your way when you're playing the Westwood Wolverines, and that's so far what they've done for the first 6+ minutes of this one. It's Bingle who has it. Feeds it to Fucci. He'll hold it, throws it off of Zach Steele. Goes off a couple of Lancers, and taking it the other way is Westwood. On the fast break, the pull-up shot from just outside the line. McGowan sinks it. He already has quite a few buckets here tonight in the early going, and the lead back at 3 for the Wolverines. It's Thomas Bingle, who has it. His pass to Zach Steele, missing entirely, and now going the other way is Westwood. McGowan has it once again. The deep 3, just off the rim. As Westwood playing it inbounds, it's Waraboko. Shoots it out for the deep 3. And there goes Westwood once again, extending the lead to now 12-6, doubling the Lancer point total here in the early going. But the Lancers, they got a fast break. McNichols driving the basket, lays it in. And the score now at 12-8 with under a minute to go in the first quarter. So back and forth we go here early for the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. Westwood with a 4-point lead. Averaging about 15 points per quarter. Under that total currently with only 12 here in the first. It's James Bean. With less than 10 seconds left on the shot clock, driving the lane is Westwood. Waraboko puts it up and in, and he'll get the and one. Second time Waraboko's tried that under the basket. Able to lay it in the second time. And puts it at 14-8. Jared Fucci coming out. Coming in is Matt Collymore. This is Thomas Bingle picking up his first foul of the night. .4 seconds left in the first quarter. Waraboko, the junior, hits it off the back iron. The Lancers able to grab the rebound. They'll bring it up the other way. But immediately taken away by Westwood. Bingle came storming over to try and grab it. A deep 3. Missing, but Waraboko able to grab the rebound. Some body shoving, and it'll go off of him, and the Lancers will get possession with 14.3 to go in the quarter. (14-8) our score here from Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. The shot clock turned off as the Lancers will inbound it. Mackler looking to bring it up, gets by 2 defenders and sends James Bean to the ground. As that one off of Bean and out of play, the Lancers retain possession with 5.2 to go. And what a play from Griffin Mackler, bringing it up the court, able to get by Waraboko and Bean, splitting the two of them. And Bean ending up on the ground. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Mackler has it with 2 seconds, picks up the shot, the loose ball, off the back iron and out, so that's where we'll stand at the end of one. Back and forth action on a whole lot of offense. 14-8 our score after one. We'll be back right after this, right here on LSN. Hello folks, welcome back to the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. The student section packed as always for the Friday night matchup. Now let's take a look at the TVL standings as we head towards the second quarter here on LSN. And the TVL small, it's Medway leading the way with a 5-0 record. One game behind them is the Bellingham Blackhawks, the Lancers' next opponent. They'll play them on the 15th. They're at 4-1. The Lancers and the Dover Sherborne Raiders tied for third place at 3-2. And rounding out the TVL small is Dedham and Millis, both sitting at 1-4, 4 games back of Medway. In the TVL large, it's Westwood leading the way at 5-0. You got Hopkinton at 3-2, Norwood at 2-3, 3 games back of them. And then rounding it out, you have 3 teams tied for last, all at 1-4. Ashland, Holliston, and Medfield with rough starts to their season, all sitting 4 games back of the undefeated in the TVL Westwood Wolverines. Westwood able to grab the rebound off the shot, puts it back in. This Connor Donnelly. So the first 2 points in the paint on the night. The Lancers find themselves down by 8. Hunter Murphy looking to come on for the Lancers. It's Griffin Mackler. He has it, passes it to Bingle. Bingle over to the far side to McNichols. Leading the team in threes, but instead just looks to get up a shot from outside the paint. Shot missing, going off the body of James McGowan and out of play. Zach Steele coming out, getting a high five from the Lancer bench. And coming on is Hunter Murphy. Mackler has it just outside the three-point line, gets it taken away from him. And this Westwood defense showing up in droves here tonight. Already up by 8, looking to extend their lead even further. Sends it towards the inside, but it's taken away by Matt Collmore, and here comes the Lancers. It's Mackler. The pull-up shot from just outside the paint, sinks it. And Mackler gets his fifth and sixth points of the night. And that puts it at 16-10. 6:15 counting left here in the first half. Westwood up by 6. It's Dinelli. Passing it to the inside to Eng. Lays it up and in. And despite 0 points in the paint in the first quarter for the Westwood Wolverines, already with 4 here in the second quarter. Being able to just drive that inside lane against the Lancers, and coming out of nowhere is the big man for the Westwood Wolverines, Jonathan Eng, sending this one out of bounds. And the Lancers still inbound it. Griffin Mackler to inbound it. Hunter Murphy has it. Looking to pass it. The pass gets taken away, and Westwood racking up the points, rack up the turnovers here early, but the Lancers go right back. Coast to coast they go. Inside the lane to Mackler, puts up the shot. Looks like he might have gotten tapped a little bit there by Jack Terrazin, throwing him off his mark. And Westwood will go the other way with it. 6:05 and counting left here in the first half. Westwood looking to extend their lead past 8, their largest lead so far of the night. Bean has it. Up to Terrazin. Back to Bean for 3. That one off the iron. And Westwood steps over the line. The Lancers will get the ball. James McGowan looking to just throw that one back in play. Ended up stepping outside the line. And he'll take a long walk back to the Westwood bench. Coming in for him is Joseph Noon. And taken right away off the inbound is Westwood looking to lay it up, but it's Griffin Mackler rising above everybody to take it away, grabbing the rebound. The Lancers trying to cut this lead back down from 8. And tied up is Bingle on the far side. They're going to call a jump ball. And it'll stay with the Norton Lancers. One of the things Coach Mark Lovator pointed on in our pregame meeting, as the Lancers were able to put that one out from just inside the paint to make it 18-12. One of the things Coach Mark Lovator highlighted in our pregame show is the keys to win. One of them was accepting the Westwood pressure and handling it, which the Lancers have done very well with so far tonight. There's Griffin Mackler sticking out his leg, getting the kickball violation, so a brand new shot clock for Westwood. One of the things Coach Mark Lovator highlighted in our pregame show as the keys to win was accepting and handling that pressure. But one of the big things was valuing the basketball, which the Lancers, they've had quite a few turnovers, but they've been able to make the most off of their chances, and especially off of their second chances as well. Westwood, the pull-up from just outside the line, misses entirely, and a push in the back. Called on James Bean. So it's Bean's first foul of the night. On the Lancers will inbound it. It's Sean McNichols to do it. As Thomas Bingle will bring this one up. We're going to play it on forward to Mikey Belcher. He does. Belcher. Back to McNichols. Shoots up the 2. He's got it. 18-14. Just inside the three-point line, McNichols shooting 38% on the season. In his 47th field goal of the year. From just outside the paint, they're going to call a foul. Griffin Mackler nailing the backhand of Connor Daniele, and they'll send him to the line for 2 shots. Daniele's first shot off the front iron. And a substitute to come out, James McGowan back in the game. He's coming out as Joey Noon. Westwood, a very young team. Only 3 seniors on the team entirely. A whole lot of juniors, a whole lot of sophomores. But a very young team, but a very good team. A free throw violation there, and the Lancers will get the ball back. Daniele looked to have made the second free throw, but just stepped in front of the line before his shot. So the Lancers get the ball back, down by just 4, and they'll find Belcher on the wide open. Belcher driving the lane, looks to put up the shot, gets fouled on the play. Belcher will go to the line for 2 shots, trying to cut it to 18-16. Belcher, one of the better free throw shooters on this team, shooting 64% from the line, 27-42. And he'll sink the first of 2 shots to cut the lead to just 3. 18-15. The Lancers found themselves by 8 since then. Found themselves down by 8 since they have gone on a 5-0 run to cut it back to 3. 4:27 to go here in the first half. Belcher makes the second shot, and the Lancers stay perfect from the line tonight. A perfect 4 for 4. As the score now stands at 18-16. The closest it's been since 7-6. The shot from just inside the free throw line. Missing, and they're going to call a foul on the Westwood Wolverines. The 6th-team foul of the night. Favor of Boko getting the foul called on him, his first of the night. And one of the things the Lancers have been doing to spread this Westwood defense thin is sending a man back. We saw with Mikey Belcher for a few possessions. McNichols sending it in. Bingle over to the outside to Mackler. Looking to pull it from just outside the paint. Missing entirely, but it's Hunter Murphy. Looking to get the rebound for a moment, but Westwood's able to take it the other way. Seamus McCusker receiving the pass, having it go right in and out of his hands, and falling against that padding right behind the Lancers' backpack, right behind the Lancers' hoop. Oraboko able to grab it back. Westwood, a team that's loving to shoot threes. They've attempted 5 already. They'll attempt another one from deep, just in and out of the iron. And James McGowan, that's happened to him twice tonight. Once trying to throw a ball back in from right under the hoop, and another time just stepping over the line. As Hunter Murphy comes out, Zach Steele comes on for the Norton Lancers. Belcher has it for the Lancers, looking to bring it up, sends it to Steele inside the lane, puts up the shot, just going in and out of the iron. Belcher has it once again. They're going to say it goes off of his hands. And now to play with 3:37 remaining here in the first half. The score 18-16 in favor of the Norton Lancers. 18-16 in favor of the Westwood Wolverines. Westwood driving the lane, able to put in the bucket. Already 6 points in the paint, 20-16 the score now. Not a whole lot of great offensive opportunities for both teams, but the Lancers and the Wolverines making the most of it. Belcher has it, drives the lane, looks to put up the hook shot, gets it in, and the lead for Westwood back down to 2. The Lancers yet to lead tonight, since the score was 2-0 all the way in the onset. Westwood looking to drive the lane, has it under the hoop, looks to throw up some sort of layup from behind his back, unable to put it down. However, the Lancers will take it the other way. It's Bingle that has it. Looking to throw it to Belcher. He'll command it at the top of the key. Back to Bingle. Once again, looking for his first shot made of the season, with a whole lot of assists as well. Leading the team in assists at 2.4 averaging per game. 9 seconds left in the shot clock. Back to Steele on the inside. Just off his hands. The good block there from James Bean as it falls out of play. With the score still 20-18, the Lancers. They've gotten as close as 2 since the score was 7-6 back midway around the first quarter. They've been unable to get it to a tie ball game. It's Terrazin sending it towards the inside lane. Westwood grabbing it, but they're going to say they went out of bounds once again. And under that Lancer hoop. A whole lot of issues there for the Westwood Wolverines. Connor Daniele coming in, coming out, Seamus McCusker. Belcher has it off the inbound, and they're going to call a blocking foul on James Bean. The 7th team foul of the night for Westwood will send the Lancers to the line and send one of their best free throw shooters to the line as well in Mikey Belcher. 2 for 2 tonight from the line on the season, shooting 64%. One of the things that Coach Lib talked about is he praised his free throw ability
a whole lot, saying it really helps the team out, especially when you have a guy that can rebound like Mikey Belcher, to also have him get to the line, which he does quite often. Already 44 times, 44 shots from the stripe this season. And he's just unable to make it, goes in and out of the iron. So the Lancers 4 of 5 from the line tonight, 2:05 left here in the second quarter. Westwood setting it back to the top. It's Terrazin. We're going to throw it to the outside. Westwood has it back, less than 2 minutes to go here in the quarter. They're going to say it goes off the foot of the senior Zach Steele. A brand new shot clock for the Westwood Wolverines. Mikey Belcher coming out, Hunter Murphy coming on. 1:54 remaining here in the first half. Lancers not quite yet in the bonus, only with 5 team fouls, need 7 to get to the 1-on-1s. They have some fouls to work with here. Roy Boca works inside the paint, and he'll go off his plain foot travel call to the Lancers. Will get the ball back. 1:47, just 107 seconds left until we reach the half. And the score here, 20-18. The Lancers trying to tie it up and trying to get the lead as well as it's going to go off the body of Joseph Noonan out of play. A smart play there from Griffin Mackler. Didn't have any options. As Thomas Bingle sends it to Sean McNichols. Mackler has it, driving the paint. Puts up the pull-up shot just in and out of the iron. And Waraboko grabbing the rebound. He'll go the other way with it. McGowan has on the outside, sends it over to the near side to Noon for 3. He's got it. The lead back to 5. And the Westwood defense coming up big there with a great takeaway, sending it the other way. And the Lancer offense, a lot of missed passes here in the early going. They'll continue with a whole lot of missed passes in the recent moments. And the lead for Westwood back to 5, looking to extend it even further. The Lancers trailing at the half. This is something that does them a whole lot of well. They have yet to win when trailing at the half. They've only led at the half in one of their last 4, in which they're 1 of 3. The shot from just outside the arc misses. Westwood gets it in, trying to extend their lead even further. Sean McNichols getting the foul called on him. And they're going to say it was on the floor before he got his It looked like they said he was going to get. So it looked like for a moment they were going to say it was called on the floor, but instead they gave him the 1-and-1, the and-1. And Westwood with yet another free throw violation. That's now 2 in the night for Connor Daniele. Less than a minute to go here in the first half. The Lancers finding themselves down by 7. It's McNichols has it on the near side, just inside the arc, just missing. In and out of the iron with less than 45 to go now. Westwood takes the other way, down by 7. And taken away by Hunter Murphy is Griffin Mackler. Deep, getting tied up with it is Jack Terrazin. Waraboko has it, driving inside the lane, and Jared Fucci going to come with a big block, but instead it's another 2 points for Westwood. And a big run here, 7-0 to end the first half, as they're up by 9. Lancers missing the shot. Hunter Murphy going to get tied up. And a foul called on Murphy instead. So a 7-0 run here for Westwood as we get towards the end of the first half. And that was one of the things Coach Lib talked about. And he said the Lancers have to be careful of. When they don't value the ball enough, they could get into opportunities where they continuously turn the ball over against this very good defense. And Westwood has the ability to get 7-0, 8-0, 9-0 runs in a matter of about 30 seconds. It'll be Daniele, already 2 free throw violations on the night. Makes the first of 2. And the lead now stands at 10, 28-18. Daniele, his second of 2, makes it in the lead now at 11 with 10 seconds to go in the first half. What was once a 2-point game, now at an 11-point game, and the Lancers turn it over once again with 3 seconds left. It's Noon. Has it. Rory Boko throws up the last second heave off the back iron, and that's where we'll end the first half. The score 29-18 in favor of the Westwood Wolverines. The halftime report coming up next. I'm Javik Blake. This is Friday Night Hoops right here on LSN.
Hello, folks. Welcome inside the LSN halftime report. I'm Javik Blake from here at Lawrence Rock Gymnasium, where the Lancers find themselves down by 11 at the half, 29-18 the score in favor of Westwood. Thanks in part to a 9-0 run from Westwood to end the first half. The game was 20-18. The Lancers were cruising. Looked like they could have tied it, but then a whole lot of missed passes, a whole lot of turnovers, and a whole lot of Westwood fast break points contributed to a big 9-0 run to make the score 29-18 as we hit the half. Let's get to the first half stats, though. Westwood, they're loving shooting the ball outside for three. The Lancers are letting them take their shots from out deep, and they're taking them. 3 of 7 so far tonight from three-point land. The Lancers, on the other hand, are 0 for 1 in their only opportunity. From the line tonight, Westwood doing okay at the line, 50% shooting, 4 of 8 for the Lancers. It's 4 of 5 for 80%. The points in the paint for the first quarter for the Lancers was fantastic. They had 6. It was 6-0 in favor of the Lancers at the end of the first quarter, but then the second quarter, Westwood was able to drive that lane, able to get those shots inside the paint, and they were able to get 4 buckets. 8-8 were tied at points in the paint for the Lancers, only with 2, and that was really a main struggle during that second quarter. Westwood was forcing them to shots outside of the paint. The Lancers weren't really used to taking them as much as one would think, and therefore they're missing time and time again. And that's contributing to their 11-point deficit. On the rebound side of things, the Lancers also not rebounding as much as one would think. Only with 6 rebounds. Westwood, on the other hand, only with 7. But let's get to the scoring leaders here at the end of the first half. Sean McNichols with 6 points. Griffin McAleer has 6 points as well. Mikey Belcher right behind them at 5 points. And it's really from the line that's helping both McAleer and Belcher. Belcher so far from the line 2 of 2. Belcher, Mike McAleer, on the other hand, is 2 of 2 as well. On the Westwood side of things, Joey Noon is doing fantastic. Already 2 3-pointers and a bucket inside the paint to his name. He leads the way with 8 points. Right behind him is Danny Elliott with 5 points. So in the second half for the Lancers, they just need to accept and press on against this very good Westwood defense. They were only 10-12 record last year, but they've shown up in big waves this year. They've got a lot of young talent, very much like some of the very good NBA teams that we're seeing coming up with a lot of young talent. Think the Boston Celtics just a few years ago. A lot of young talent, a lot of good skill players, and they're taking it to the Lancers here at the end of one half. So we were coming up in the second half. The Norton Lancers and the Westwood Wolverines, seeing the Lancers can battle back in this one. They're down 29-18 right here on Friday Night Hoops on LSN. Stick with us, folks.
Hello, folks. Welcome back here to the second half on LSN. 29-18 the score. The Lancers down by 11 as Westwood has it off the inbound to start the half. They'll pump fake it, play back up to the top. It's Joseph Noon playing it to Waraboko. They'll control it again from the outside. The deep 3 just off the iron, and Belcher has it. Up to McAleer. The Lancers on a fast break, puts up the shot, layup and in. 29-20 the score here. Waraboko has it inside the lane, puts up the shot, missing, but Westwood grabbing the rebound, able to put it in, is Joseph Noon. So the lead back to 11 for Westwood. It's Belcher inside the lane, that one tipped by Waraboko, and Westwood will take it the other way. Up by 11, looking to increase their lead. James McGowan has it, puts up the shot, fouled hard. Zach Steele picking up a foul here. That'll send Westwood to the line. James McGowan will go to the line here. The 9th and 10th attempts from the line so far tonight for the Westwood Wolverines. They'll miss their first opportunity. 1 minute and 1 second into the third quarter. So we'll make the second one, extending the lead to 12 for Westwood. That'll be the Lancers to take it the other way. They're going to need a whole lot of points and in a hurry. McNichols stumbling as he's trying to bring it up the court, goes off of a Westwood Wolverine, and it'll stay with the Lancer. Jonathan Eng going off of him last before going out, as the Lancers will inbound it. It's Thomas Bingle. Has it outside the paint. We're going to feed it over to McAleer, and he does. McAleer driving the lane. We're going to put up to Belcher, puts it up off the iron, and Westwood coming up with a rebound. As they'll take it the other way. James McGowan to Waraboko. puts it into the lead now to 14, and the Lanes will take a timeout. 6:29 left here in the third quarter, and it is all Westwood here at Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. 34-20 the score. We'll be back right after this. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. You're looking at head coach Steve St. Martin in his 9th season with the Westwood Wolverines with a 124-63 record. Has quite the extensive playing career, played professionally in Germany and Mexico before being forced to retire due to heart issues in which he collapsed on the court while training to try out for the D-League. During his college career, he's had a whole lot of heart issues, has gone under multiple heart surgeries, but is the first known athlete to have played with the heart conditions that he has. And he and his trainer had to take extensive notes. They're really helping the medical field with this heart condition, taking notes and training and whatnot, so athletes are able to play with this heart condition. As it's Sean McNichols making the basket from just outside the arc, cutting the lead back to now 12 for the Westwood Wolverines. It's Joey Noon who has it. Sends it outside the arc. James Bean going in and out of his hands and out of play. So the Lancers will inbound. They'll get possession back. 6:02 left here in the third quarter. Sean McNichols has it. Mackler having to jump. Fight off Waraboko for the ball. He'll bring it inside the lane, just outside the paint, sinks the jumper. And the Lancers, 4 quick points, makes it 34-24. Coming out of the timeout, the Lancers able to cut the lead back to 10. Bean has it. Sends it over to the near side to Noon. Fakes the shot, sends it inside the lane. The shot put up and put home from Jonathan Eng. Zach Steele has it. The Lancers down by 12. Mikey Belcher grabbing it. We're going to set up the shot. Instead, sends it back out to the top. Off the hands of Thomas Bingle, looking to play it back inside. They're able to get it. They'll put up the three. That one is good, and the lead now down to single digits. 36-27 the score, and the Lancers, after being down by 14, have gone on a 5-0 run to cut the lead back down to 9, and they'll take it away once again. So whatever Lancer head coach Mark Levator said in that timeout is working perfectly. The lead back down to 9 for Westwood. The Lancers trying to cut into it a little bit more. The shot from just inside the arc, missing everything. And going out of play, Westwood will get it back. Tim bound it with 4:43 to go here in the third. Jack Terrazin coming into this game, and coming out is James Bean. So Westwood will inbound, and the Lancers putting on their own version of the full court press, countering Westwood, who's playing up and down with relentless pressure all night long. A team that went 10-12 a season ago. Graduated a lot of seniors. They've been able to beat the Lancers quite handily in recent matchups. They are 8-2 against the Lancers in their last 10 games, including a 7-game winning streak that lasted from February 2014 to December of 2017. As Griffin Mackler, the shot off of a body missing, and Westwood will go the other way with it. It's Waraboko driving the lane, and they're going to say he held the ball, moved it forward, so the Lancers will get the ball back. These two teams have not historically played each other very well against each other. 6 out of 10 of the games have been decided by more than 15 points, and the best with a 32-point Westwood. Just really demolition of the Norton Lancers in 2015-16, but the last game they played against each other last season was a 61-57 overtime win for Westwood. McNichols missing the three there. So Westwood will take it the other way. 3:15 counting left here in the third quarter. The Lancers able to steal it away. Here comes Sean McNichols. McNichols playing it to Fucci, throws it inside to Bingle. We're going to put up his first point of the season. But Waraboko has it, and Westwood will go the other way with it. Lots of high-flying hoops here in the last few moments. The lead sits at 9 for Westwood. And they'll just calm the game down for just a moment as Terrazin had it at the point. Westwood driving the lane. Belcher trying to create a little bit of traffic inside that lane on the shot for Joseph Noon. Unable to work, however, and the Lancers will go the other way with it. The lead now back at 11. It's McNichols, unable to keep it in play. And Westwood will get it back, and yet another timeout called by Coach Mark Libator with 3:06 left here in the third quarter. The score, 38-27 in favor of Westwood. Hello, folks. Welcome back here to the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. I'm Javik Blake. The score, 38-27 in favor of the Westwood Wolverines. The Lancers doing well out of their last timeout. Was able to go on a quick 5-0 run to cut the lead back to 9. But since then, a few shots for Westwood hitting their mark as they find themselves back up by 11. The Lancers putting on the full court press. Jared Fucci looking to just grab the pass like a wide receiver, is able to grab it, and the Lancers getting the interception. It's Griffin McAleer. Has it, looking to drive the lane, instead has to stop, gets it back from Belcher. McAleer, the shot from inside the arc, able to be pushed out by Mikey Belcher. Out of play, and Westwood will get the ball. 2:45 left here in the third quarter. Westwood trying to build on top of its lead. Waraboko has it. They'll look to play it forward. It's McGowan inside the lane. The shot, foul call to the play on Bingle. So going to the line for two. Once again, it'll be Connor Daniele. Had 5 points in the first half. Looking to add to that total here. And he'll miss his first of two. So the lead still stands at 11 for Westwood. Still a manageable lead for the Norton Lancers. His second of 2 shots. He'll make it, and the lead now to 12. One of the largest they've had of the night for the Lancers. Some fast break offense right off the break. Matt Collmore putting it home. For his first 2 points of the night, the lead back down to 10. It's Terrazin bringing it up past the half-court line. Defended by Bingle. Daniele. Back to McCusker. Terzian has it, the shot from just outside the arc. Missing off a few players, out of play. And they're going to call a foul on Seamus McCusker. The senior forward getting called for the foul there. 2:06 left here in the third quarter. The Lanes will get the ball back, down by 10. They'll play it forward to Collmore, sending it cross court to Griffin McAleer. Has it, drives the lane, puts up the floater just in and out of the rim. The Lancers trying to get it back, but instead it'll be the Westwood Wolverines to grab it. Westwood controls it just outside the arc. It's Daniele sending it to McCusker. Terzian back to the top. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. The lead for Westwood sits at 10. Some great defense by the Lancers. Westwood trying to get it inside the lane. A block by Mikey Belcher goes out of play with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. 3 seconds on the shot clock. 1:28 left on the game clock here in the third quarter. Westwood has to just catch and shoot this. They'll get it. 2 seconds left. The shot blocked by Mikey Belcher, and the Lancers will get the ball back. They'll send it going the other way. Griffin McAleer has it. Tripped up, gets inside the lane. The shot missing. And he'll try and get it back. Goes off for Wolverine and out of play, and the Lancers will get the ball back with the 1:16 to go here in the third quarter. Belcher has it. Up to the top to McAleer. It's Bingo has it. Feeds it over to the outside for 3. That one just off the iron and tipped back into the hands of a Westwood Wolverine. They'll go the other way with it. It's Ing. Playing it to Terzian. Less than a minute to go now. In the third quarter, the lead sits at just 10. Westwood has it. Drives the lane. Throws it over to the outside. Waraboko. A whole lot of pressure to get inside the lane. And will be able to put down 2 for Westwood. The lead now at 12. Belcher's got it back inside the lane. The layup missing. And Waraboko gets it back. Westwood, their fast break offense, has done a fantastic job tonight, but they'll turn it over. Belcher to just try and calm this offense down with less than 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. The shot clock is off. Belcher has it. Dumps it off for McAleer. Has it outside the arc. 10 seconds to go now in the quarter. The Lancers trying to get the final shot. 7 seconds left. McAleer has it from outside for three. Off the back iron. Once again, grabbed by the Lancers, trying to put up the shot as time runs out, and they'll get it. The lead back to 10 as we make the turn from home here on LSN. 41-31 the score as we head to the fourth quarter right here on Friday Night Hoops on LSN. Hello folks, welcome back here to the Lancers Sports Network's coverage of Norton High School basketball. We're making the turn for home here on LSN. The score, 41-31. Lancers outscoring Westwood there by a score of 13-12. Goes off a few hands. They're looking for a call as Westwood. They'll be getting the ball back, but instead it'll be the Lancers. In Westwood's offense, very much mirroring a defense from about 16 years ago that was put on by the UConn Huskies against the Duke Blue Devils in the NCAA championship game. Khalid Al-Hamid was the man the Lancers, that the UConn Huskies were trying to stop. They put that full court pressure on them all game long, and it worked. Duke wasn't able to get many shots off, and you can see that with the Lancers here tonight. They aren't able to get many quality shots off against this defense, and it's leading to a lot of missed opportunities. Yes, they're getting shots inside the paint, but even Westwood's applying pressure inside the paint. Not a whole lot of time left to inbound this one, as McAleer will take it just outside the three-point line. Collymore sends it to McNichols. Sends it over to the outside now. It's Bingle who has it. Going to put up a shot instead, feeds it over to Griffin McAleer. 9 seconds left on the shot clock now as he drives the lane, looks to put up the shot, has it off the side of the backboard, and Westwood will go the other way with it. It's Jack Terzian. Has it just beyond half court, defended by Griffin McAleer, trying to lead the Lancers back from a 10-point deficit here in the fourth quarter. Westwood driving the lane, it's Mikey Belcher. Went up for the huge block and got a whole lot of Jack Terzian's body. Belcher called for his third foul of the night. Zach Steele going to come in for the Norton Lancers as there'll be 2 shots for Terzian at the line. So far tonight, Westwood 6-12, a good 50% from the line as they'll miss their first shot. Coming in for the Lancers is Zach Steele. Coming in for the Westwood Wolverines, the senior, Joseph Noon. As Waraboko comes out, and Westwood hanging 2 defenders back. It's Daniele and Jonathan Eng. As the second one missing as well, and the Lancers thankful for that. The lead still at 10, still manageable with 7 minutes to go in this one. McNichols. Now it's Bingo as it just outside the three-point line. We're going to drive the lane instead, sends it out up top to Matt Collymore off his hands and out of play. 6:49 to go in the fourth quarter. Westwood looking to extend its 10-point lead here from Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. A packed crowd tonight, but they were in silence early by the Westwood Wolverines as they'll hit a 3. The lead now at 14. Tied for the largest lead this game so far. And the Lancers have a whole lot of work to do. 6.5 minutes to go, and they gotta get back from a 13-point deficit. Belcher driving the lane, puts up the shot from inside the paint, and that's really been the story of the night for the Lancers. Those shots inside the paint just aren't falling. That's really contributed to a 13-point deficit. It's Joseph Noon. Has it. Running all the way around court. Not many Lancers seem to be doing anything about it as a blocking foul will called on James McGowan. McGowan picking up his second foul of the night with 5:54 to go here in this one. Sean McNichols will do the honors to inbound it from the far side. It's Belcher who has it just outside the arc. Throws it over a cross-court pass to McNichols. Bingo has it. He'll drive the lane. The step back. Looked for the shot, but instead opted for the pass. Belcher inside the lane, unable to get another shot off, but it's picked up under the hoop by Matt Collymore. The Lancers able to get two, cuts the lead down to 11 with 5:29 to go here in the fourth quarter. Down by 11, the Lancers, they're going to need a whole lot to come back in this one, but they're off to a good start so far. They've gotten the lead as close to 2. Since the score was 7-6, Westwood leading early on in this one. And Westwood, a very good team. They started off the season 5-0 with an average margin of victory of 24.6 points. That's right. They were winning their games on average by almost 25 points, including an 80-37 drubbing of Ashland, who the Lancers can only manage to beat by 30 in their last matchup. And it's really Westwood, since they got that streak broken by Hingham, a 52-51 heartbreaking loss in which they just couldn't get the final shot off in times. None of their last 3 games have been decided by 10 or more points, a 1-point loss, and then a 1-point win, and then a 6-point win. But they are 2-1 over their last 3 games. 2 of their last 3 away games as well, decided by less than 7 points. But the Lancers not looking to keep it close here. In desperate need of a victory. Would hate to drop to 3-3 in the TVL on this season, especially for a team that's trying to make the playoffs for the second year in a row. After coming off a TVL leading campaign a season ago, dropping to 3-6 also. Not exactly what they're interested in doing either. For Westwood, on the other hand, going to 8-1 would be absolutely fantastic for them, especially 6-0 in the TVL in a division that looks very mediocre. Not a whole lot of teams jumping out in front. As a win tonight and a Hopkinton loss against Millis would give Westwood a 3-game advantage in the league already. With still a whole lot of action to be played. A little more than 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. It's Joseph Noon who has it up top. Receives it back, has it just outside the 3-point arc as it's Terzian. With 1 second left, and the shot clock puts up the shot, and it falls. This has really been the mantra for Westwood all night long. Make the shots when they need to. The other side of things for the Lancers, they just haven't been getting those easy points inside the paint to fall. Is another example there. Another missed layup for the Lancers. At least in double digits tonight, the Lancers missed layup opportunities, and it's really contributing to now a 13-point deficit. Terzian has it up top. He'll just settle down the offense, and a 3 from way out. Missing entirely off the iron. It'll roll out the fingertips of Joseph Noon, and the Lancers will grab the ball going the other way. Griffin Mackler coming into the action. Just sitting out for a rest for a few moments. Matt Collymore coming off. The Lancers down to 46-33 in this one. And a pass tipped by Waraboko. Westwood going the other way with it. Waraboko sends it back towards the middle of the court. Unable to grab it though is the Westwood Wolverines. Belcher looking to send up the shot. Another missed layup. Mackler missing the second chance opportunity. And here coming the other way with it is the Westwood Wolverines. Joseph Noon has it. Sends it out to the top to Jack Terzian. Less than 4 minutes to go with this one. Westwood, a wide open 3. Just missing off the back iron. John Nichols with a rebound, and the Lancers will go the other way with it. It's Mackler. The pull-up shot drains it, and the lead cut back down to 11. The Lancers are going to want to come back down from 11 with 3.5 left to go. They're going to need a whole lot of opportunities. They're going to need to force a whole lot of Westwood turnovers as well. Pretty much have to do what Westwood did at the end of the first half, in which they went in a 9-0 run in a little under 30 seconds. It's exactly what the Lancers are going to need to crawl their way back into this one. And it could start right there with a jump ball. Westwood to control possession, but the Lancers have the possession arrow going back their way with 3:15 to go in this one. Fucci coming in, Zach Steele coming out. And in as well for the Westwood Wolverines is Connor Daniele. So the shot clock being reset to 16 seconds. As the Westwood Wolverines are going to hold on to their 11-point lead and extend their record to 8-1 and extend their record over the past 11 games against the Lancers to 9-2. There's a little bit of a tie-up there and a travel called against Westwood. The Lancers will get the ball back. So for the Wolverines, their next game coming up will be at Norwood. It's playing tonight against Denham. We're 2-2, 2-3 on the season so far against the TBL Large. Another game West Westwood would like to win handedly en route to what's already looking like a team that could clinch a tournament appearance before the end of January. Connor Daniele called for the foul there. Lane still inbound it from the baseline. 3:03 remaining in this one. The lead still at 11 for the Westwood Wolverines. It's Belcher to Fucci. He'll drive the lane. We're going to put up the shot, but it's taken away, and Westwood will have it back. We're going to extend their lead even further as we get towards the late stages of this one. A lot of passing to try and drive the lane. Daniele putting up the shot, missing entirely. The Lancers was able to get the rebound back. Sean McNichols finally breaking the scoring drought as the lead cut back down to 9. 46-37, the Lancers with a lot of work to do, but they have 2.5 minutes to do it. We'll be back right after this. This is Friday Night Basketball right here on LSN. Hello, folks. Welcome back here to the Lancers Sports Network's coverage of Friday Night Basketball right here on LSN. The Lancers find themselves down by just 9, 46-37. We're down at 1 point by as large as 14 points. Found themselves down by 14 on 2 separate occasions. But come into the final 2.5 minutes of this matchup down by 9. The Lancers putting on the full court press, trying to get some offensive opportunities. Wardaboko has it outside the paint, sends it up for 3. That one off the back iron. But Westwood getting their own rebound back. Sending it up to the top. 2:21 and counting left in this one. McAleer playing some fantastic defense on Jack Terrazin, and they're going to call him for travel. And Wolverine head coach Steve St. Martin can't believe it. Almost chucked his clipboard in behind the Westwood Wolverine bench. But it'll be the Lancers who get it back with 2 minutes to go, down 9. They're going to need a whole lot of help. But they're trying to see if they can do it. It's Griffin McAleer. He'll have it. The Lancer student section trying to get riled up here. Feeds it inside to Zach Steele. And the Lancers called for a foul with Zach Steele. Called for a hit to the head. As Westwood will go the other way with it. The Lancers at a point out of their timeout. Now with less than 2 minutes to go, down by 9. They're going to need a whole lot of help. Westwood has it, but it's taken away by Mikey Belcher. Trying to bring it the other way. Loses it for a moment. Has it tied up. And a quick call there and a quick whistle there. And it's number 4, Jack Terzian, called for the foul. So the Lancers to inbound it with 30 seconds on the shot clock. 1:38 to go in this one. Zach Steele has it up top. It's McAleer, throws up the 3. Look to draw the foul, but no call, and Westwood will go the other way with it. Terzian has it, the shot missing. The Lancers get the rebound. Or look to get the rebound, but they're going to say it was Sean McNichols stepping out of bounds before touching it. Griffin McAleer looked to draw all types of contact on his three-point attempt, but no call from the refs there. Less than a minute 30 to go. The lead still at 9 for Westwood. It's James McGowan looking to drive the lane inside the paint, puts up the shot, and the lead back to 11. And that very would could seal the fate of the Norton Lancers here tonight. McAleer has it, the wide open 3, fakes it, throws up the runner. In and out of the iron of the Lancers. Inside the paint tonight, just have not gotten any shots to go. As this one Thrown over to the near side, right towards our broadcast booth. With less than 50 seconds to go. Less than a minute to go in the game. So the referees will confer here on just how much time to put on the clock. So it said they're going to reset the game clock to 58 seconds. And the Lancers down by 11. So it very well could spend the end of the night for the Lancers. Coming out of the timeout. Down by 9, unable to get a basket. They've had a lot of opportunities, but inside the paint, they've had a whole lot of trouble. Mikey Belcher leaking him down deep, puts up the shot, isn't able to get it to go. McNichols with a second chance opportunity with 52 to go when the Lancers will take a timeout. They find themselves down by 9 once again. We'll see if they can get any closer. 52.2 to go in this one. The Lancers down by just 9, 58-39. They're ready to go for the final 55 to go right here on LSN. And there you see the head coach for the Westwood Wolverines, Steve St. Martin, 2014-15 TVL Coach of the Year when he went Westwood to a 20-0 regular season record before falling in the South Sectional quarterfinals. Trying to drop some plays here for the final 50 or so seconds in this one. This team up by 9, trying to bring home their 8th victory of the year. Trying to send the Lancers home with their 4th loss in 5 games. So 52.2 seconds left on the game clock. The Lancers down by 9 and not get in the bonus. Have to foul 3 more times to get there. And a whole lot of pressure, and Westwood's going to have to waste a timeout. The timeout called by Joseph Noon because he was just unable to get anything going. So a timeout here by the Westwood Wolverines with 50 seconds to go. Coming in tonight, they're riding back-to-back wins into this matchup. And they've been doing fantastic. Their defense, which we highlighted in the pregame show, has allowed less than 40 points in half of their games. 4 of 8 games. They've only allowed 39 here tonight. And they lead the TVL Large in defense by 8.7 points. They're at first place with 43.5. That's how much they're averaging per game. The next best team is at 53.2 points averaging per game. So Westwood far and above the best defensive team in the TVL Large, and that's something that Coach Lip highlighted on when we talked to him earlier today. The Lancers, during their 3-game losing streak before breaking that 3-game streak versus Ashland, hadn't really shot so well from the field, only 30.1%, and as a team this season, only shooting 32.4%. And we've seen their woes tonight. Westwood unable to get it out, and the Lancers will get the ball back. Wasting a timeout was the Westwood Wolverines, who were unable to get the ball out off the inbound. Waste the 5-second rule there as the Lancers will get it back. Griffin Mackler has the 3 from deep. Got it! And the lead is back to 6. 48-42 with 40 seconds to go in this one. Mackler almost grabbing it back as Westwood goes the other way, and fouling him is Matt Callamore. So now a little bit of excitement. 6 points, the deficit for the Norton Lancers. 38.3, the time on the clock here in the 4th quarter. Joseph Noon to inbound it from the near side. The Lancers' pressure made him unable to inbound it last time. And another foul with 37.2 to go. The Lancers' 16th foul. So one more, and Westwood goes to the line for a 1-and-1. Yet another low-scoring game for the Lancers after their first few games in which they had a whole lot of points scored. They've been held under 60 points in their last 4 games. They've only been held to 48.5 points per game over that time frame. With only 42 points here tonight, they're going to need, one would think, at least 50 to come away with a victory here. So the first of 2 for the Westwood Wolverines. The first shot makes it. And that extends the lead to 7. Favorable Boko coming into the action for the Wolverines. McGowan makes the second one as well as the lead back to 8. 36 seconds left in this one. It's Thomas Bingle with less than 30 to go now. Sends it over to the outside for 3. That one off the iron. Belcher with the rebound, sends it up top off the hands of Griffin McAleer. Westwood has to go the other way with it. And a foul called on Sean McNichols. The lead now to 8 for the Westwood Wolverines with 17.4 to go. And making one of 2 here. You'd have to think one ended. The Westwood Wolverines would improve to 8-1. The Lancers would fall to 3-6. In a game that could have catapulted their playoff hopes with a huge win. Is looking more and more like something that could greatly hurt the Lancer playoff chances. They'll drop to 3-3 in the TVL Small, down by 9 with 17.4 to go. Make that 10. So the score 52-42. And it looks like the TVL Large's leading defense and offense will walk out of here with a victory. 10 seconds to go in this one. And we'll just wrap this one up. From the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium here on a Friday night, it's the Westwood Wolverines taking home a victory, improving to 8-1 and 6-0 in the TVL Large. The Lancers, on the other hand, dropping to 3-6 and 3-3 in the TVL Small. We'll have the post-game report coming up next, along with an interview with head coach Mark Labatore after the Lancers' tough loss here tonight. The final from the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium, 52-42 in favor of the Westwood Wolverines.
Hello, folks. Welcome here to LSN Overtime. I'm Javid Blake alongside Coach Mark Labatore after a tough loss tonight. Coach, we talked earlier today about how good Westwood's defense was, and what you guys needed to do was just sort of accept that they're going to bring all that pressure. How do you think you guys fared against that team?
Yeah, and as we talked today, I think there were times we executed against their press, and then there were times it got to us and we had too many turnovers, especially first half. I thought in the second half we did a better job with it, but there was that little stretch at the end of the second quarter where they went on like a 9-0 run to close the quarter, which was really our turnovers, and them getting some offensive rebounds too. We got to do a better job boxing out consistently. But again, as we talked about, that's what they're good at. So, and there's a reason why they're undefeated. It's really because of the pressure they put on you.
And you did highlight that one of the big things they do is they go on those 8-0, 9-0 runs at the end of halves that could really take teams out of games. But after that, you guys were able to battle back in that third quarter.
Yeah, and from that point on, it's pretty much a back and forth game. But that little 9-0 run makes us have to do some things defensively that maybe we're not comfortable in, because now you're down 9-10. But, I thought we did a little bit better in terms of eliminating turnovers, but I think we had ourselves for like 14 in the first half. That's just too many against a good team like that.
And on defense, you guys did a fantastic job applying the press against Westwood. A lot of turnovers. How did that help the team going forward?
Yeah, I thought that made it in the second half just sort of competitive, pretty even battle, because we forced turnovers too. And we had less of them ourselves offensively too. We didn't finish enough either. When we finally did break their press, we had a couple opportunities where we had layups that just didn't go in off 2-on-1 and 3-on-2 breaks. Those would have helped too.
That seems to be a mantra for this season. You have multiple guys who just every single shot they take, it seems like it's almost going in, and then it'll drop out. But going forward towards your next matchup, you still have a lot of your season left, but you stand at a 3-6 record. To make the playoffs, what do you guys have to do? Yeah,
I think it's just be more consistent offensively. Our defense, for the most part, holding them to high 40s, low 50s. We're respectable in that regard. It's just being more consistent on the offensive end. Maybe getting to the foul line a little bit more. I thought that would have helped us if we were able to get to the foul line and get some easy ones that way. But it's just finding consistency on the offensive end. But it's tough to gauge against them because, as you've said, they're the best defensive team in the league. They make you look bad offensively. So we'll see going forward if we can find some more consistency on offense and keep the defense we've been playing.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. We'll be back with more LS in Overtime right after this. Hello, folks. Welcome back here to LS in Overtime. I'm Javid Blake. The Lancers falling to Westwood Wolverines tonight by a score of 52-42, drop their season record to 3-6. And as we just talked to Coach Lib, they still have a lot of work to do before the playoffs to get into the playoffs. But against the Westwood Wolverines tonight, the best offense in the TVL. They did a fantastic job limiting them to just 52 points. But on the offensive end for the Lancers, it just came down to a bunch of missed shots inside the paint. That's what it did seem time and time again. You count on maybe both hands the time in the fourth quarter the Lancers were unable to get a shot in the paint. It just seems like every layup the Lancers would try to get, it ended up going in and out of the basket. But let's get to the final totals here tonight. For 3-point field goals, Westwood was 4 of 9 for 44.4%. And for the Lancers, 3 of 7 for 42%. For free throws for Westwood, they were 10 of the 17 times they reached the line for 58%. And for the Lancers, they were 4 of 5 at 80% from the line. And when we just talked to Coach Lynn, one of the things he highlighted, the Lancers to get the playoffs, they maybe just need to make to the free throw line just a little bit more. Only 5 times tonight against a team that is very good like Westwood isn't exactly the best recipe for success. Points inside the paint, however, was in favor of Westwood, 16-14. You can attribute that to, as we said just a few seconds ago, the Lancers inside the paint just weren't able to get many shots down. For the Westwood Wolverines as well in rebounds, they won that category 14-12. So let's get to the leading scores for tonight. For the Norton Lancers, it was Sean McNichols with 20 points on the night, building off of what's been a fantastic season for the Rising Juniors. 20 points, 2 3-pointers, and behind him was Griffin Mackler with his second straight game with a 12-point performance. For Westwood, it was James McGowan with 14 and Jimmy Noon with 10, including 2 3-pointers, and really sealed the game for the Norton Lancers. For the Lancers, their next game will travel to Bellingham in just a few games. They'll take on the 7-2 Bellingham Blackhawks. The road for the Lancers does not get any easier. They're 4-1 in the TVL Small, and they boast the best defense in the TVL Small, allowing just 41.3 points per game. So the Lancers going from the best defense in the TVL Large to the best defense in the TVL Small in 2 straight matchups. The Lancers going to be asked a whole lot of in that game. But again, on the road against the Bellingham team they've been able to beat before. This Westwood team, they are just 2-9 against them in their last 11 matchups. For Bellingham last year, they split the season series and hoping for a win on Wednesday. For Westwood, they'll be traveling to Norwood against the 3rd place team in the TVL Large, who's sitting at 3-2, and they're actually currently in action tonight against Dedham, currently where they're trying to come up with their 3rd TVL victory of the season. So for everyone here at LSN, I'm Javic Blake saying adios and good night from the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium, where the Norton Lancers falling to the Westwood Wolverines 52-42 right here on Friday Night Hoops.